Alright, testing. Alright, testing. Been a while. Re-Res is in here first. He's on top of it. Hey, store manager. What's up? Lots of stuff is up. Anti-stonks are up. Best deck in format. Okay, that I need to do. Okay, there's one thing I gotta do on my phone while people trickle in. So this. Right. Muted. Delaney, thanks for the tier 1 sub. Did some side quests. Stock Spirit Forged Draven is better than most of the new decks. Draven's pretty good. Hey, thanks for that, Spicy. Poppy main and lol. XP or Aurora? Not sure. Have not done any. I tried Aurora Poppy. It was kind of bad. I did not realize that Rift Herald has to play in base, which kind of sucks. And you also have to pay the power cost, so you can't play a Elder Dragon for free. Zuhair, thanks for the Prime sub. Damn, I don't think I even streamed last month at all. So thanks for keeping up the sub. Yeah, I get really locked in when especially day 2. Gotta focus. Gotta keep the emotions under control. Poppy is poopy. Maybe. That's possible. Okay, so. And if anyone has any questions, I'll answer those. Otherwise, just gonna go through all the VODs. Still have a bit of a cough. God damn. But yeah, it was I mean, I guess I could talk about the event a bit. It was a really tough run. I could actually, let me pull up the UVS. Could just show all the players I played against. That's not it. And then this is going to be a short stream today, because I'm going to a pre-rift. Which is at 6:30, so I'm going to end the stream at around, like, in a couple hours. No, yeah, I fucked that up. Okay. That's fine. Pre-rift at 4:01? No, I'm doing Banana today, this afternoon, and then Emmett's Saturday, Sunday. Alright, round 1. Where are my pairings? How do I view my own pairings? I guess if I just search Prismat, it'll show me it. So, actually, how did this guy end up doing? Reyes? Not great, okay. Alright, but round 3. Oh yeah, the Coco not hard bargaining. He only had one in hand. He drew the second hard bargain off of his Conquer for 8 points. So, like, I think he had to save the hard bargain. If he only has one hard bargain, he has to save it for me for my next turn when I play Annie, pick up Rebuke, and Rebuke his Ferris Forerunner. Yeah. Yeah, it was just face up that I'm going to Annie Rebuke. Yeah. But yeah. Round 3, played against Talion. Randy's practice partner and friend, part of the team. It was a really close match. 3 games. He fucking nut drew me out of his mind, though. Game 1, he wins die roll, and then game 1 and game 3, the games where he goes first, he goes Zonya's Hourglass into Stellacorn Herder into Ride the Wind. Though I did make a suboptimal play game 3, I should have made a different play, which would have potentially stopped the Stellacorn Herder in game 3. Game 1, I couldn't do anything about it. And even game 1, where he was on unbelievable nut draw with that, and it was still a close game. And that's pre-sideboard before I get all 3 rebukes in the Switch Ruin. Thanks for the sub, Store Manager, and Dark Promise. Damn, 7 months in a row. Holy shit. That's probably the longest one that I've even got. 5 stream streak. Wonder what the first stream in that streak was, how long ago it was. But yeah, was really close. Came down to the wire, game 3. And then round 6. This is Ali Eldrazi. He won Best of Sivir. This was a really close match. I made a couple misplays. And the first one was I tried to play around hard bargain instead of rebuke, but I hadn't seen any hard bargains from him, and I had seen rebukes from him at that point, so the better play was to play around rebuke. And then in game 3, I played a stack deck for no reason. That made me not able to play a Rengar, which would have just conquered an end of the game much earlier. Round 8, I played against Ikato. He's a really good player, but the Annie Draven matchup is very favorable for me. Why is it doing audio? God damn it, it's not supposed to be doing audio. Alright, that's fine. I want to figure out why it's doing audio. Man, hold on. The stream elements that I have in here, are they all named the same? Like, I'm pretty sure the video... Like, there's no sound. There's no sound. Why is it playing sound anyway? There's no sound. It just does it because it feels like it. I specifically went into a video editor, cut out, like, muted the sound. There should be no audio, and then put it back in here. It was! I thought I fixed it. Alright, be right back 1 sec. Alright. What is this? Hype train's going on now? Okay. LS talking? Yeah, I saw that clip. Yeah, I got asked about it in a couple interviews. I'm not, okay, so I'll go back to that. So I played against LS at the regional qualifier in Vegas, round 3. I remember that because me and, I think Randy talked to him for a bit after the match, while waiting for the next round as well. But that, I don't remember the exact moment. Or I'll just have to stop talking every time it happens. God damn it. I'm just turning it off. I'll figure it out. Okay, but what happened, so he asked me how many cards are left in my deck, and I tell him the answer just immediately. Like, I already knew the answer. Um, I don't remember what I did to know the answer. Because there are 3 different ways that I could have known the answer, and thanks for the Prime Sub Mass Stand. The first one is I just picked up my deck and counted it, and he might not have noticed. That's like the most like boring, lame possibility. But I don't remember what I did, and I don't want to like take credit for something that maybe I didn't actually do. Um, but that would, with everything he's saying, if that was the reason, that is deflating. The other possibility is I would always lay out my cards, my trash, in rows of 5. So that made it easier to count for Rasa, but also makes it easier to count for how many cards are in play that I have. So that is something that I would do sometimes. Is I would count my cards in trash, count my cards in hand, count my cards in play, and then from that know how many cards were left in my deck. That's the second possibility. The third one is because it was 12 cards. He actually remembered the number was 12. When I get that low on cards in my deck, I might have actually had every single card in my deck written down, so I just knew it was 12, and would have just been like looking at my notes, counting them. But I might have also been close, like maybe 10 cards were recycled, and there were 2 that I didn't know about. And one other thing that I did sometimes was I would look through all the cards that I could see and that I knew about to figure out what the final remaining cards were, um, mostly for Nocturne. But if I did that, then I know like there are 10 cards written down, and then I go through all the cards and figure out, okay, these are the 2 cards missing, and then I know it's 12 doing that. So yeah. That's pretty cool, because LS has met a lot of people, a lot of players that are, pro players, pretty good at the game they play, and for me to leave that kind of lasting impression on him is pretty awesome. Hopefully it wasn't just the first one where I pick up the deck and count it and he just doesn't notice. That would be really lame. Okay, but yeah, round 8 against Dichoto. And then round 10, I think this Ozmister guy was pretty good. Yeah, he ended up doing pretty well. Round 11 against Frosty. Is there a link to the clip? You'd have to dig it up on Twitter. It's, maybe it's on YouTube. Maybe I can find it. Hold on. No, I can't find it. I found it on Twitter. There was like someone that replied because there was there's a reply. LS made a tweet talking about me and then talking about that clip, and then someone in the replies replied to it. But yeah, against Frosty, he made top 8. I mean, this was a win-in for both of us. But um, he basically was undefeated going into top 8. He did lose his next round against Coco. And then round 12 against the Wally on stream. LS is Last Shadow. He's known for like League of Legends content creation and then coaching, like being an actual coach. And then he was a pro player in StarCraft 2 as well, I think. But he's mostly like League of Legends and then Riot Games. And then he also, I don't know if did he compete in card games ever, or he's taken them seriously before probably. And then he's playing Riftbound now too. And then top 8, Colin. Semifinals, Alan. Finals against Coco. It was, like, I think I counted in total. there were 5 players in total that I went against that were not named players. So like round 2. Oh yeah, round 4 I went against Rob. This is like the broker guy. He's on Team Disguise Toast. And like he's a good player. I think how did he end up doing? Ah, not great. But even this was a pretty close match. Round 5 was a unknown player. Round 7 was an unknown player, I think. Let's see how all my opponents end up doing. Okay. He made day 2. He also made day 2. I mean, he was guaranteed for day 2 at this point, I think. And then round 9 was an unknown player, and round 10. So there were 5 total players I went against that weren't already like named notorious players. Out of 12 rounds, round 13 was an ID, and then the 3 top 8 matches, so 15 rounds, only a third of my opponents. So it was a tough event. Like I think because my tiebreakers were absurd at the end of round 13. Well, that's a pretty healthy margin overall. Especially considering that I lost to Frosty. Oh, well, I mean, we were both undefeated, but then his tiebreaker, like his round 12 opponent, was Coco, who ended up with 11 wins, whereas my round 12 opponent, I guess, was Dwally, who also ended up with 11 wins. So that those tiebreakers even out. And then round 13, we all just got to ID, so everyone sees each other. But other than Frosty, I have a very, very healthy gap in tiebreakers over everyone else in the top 8. Custom dipped was best of Victor. Okay, cool. Thanks, Waller. FOW, Force of Will TCG? Yeah, Boulevard, he's, I played against his brother at the SCG Con Las Vegas in top 8. World champion, yeah. No, yeah, those two guys are good at card games. Ryan, yeah, Ryan's his name, yeah. Alright. Let's hop into it. I don't know if I want to leave chat up. Probably gonna at least turn this down. Alright, let's go. Round 1. What's going on in round 1? When half the players have buys. Pre-rift? Yeah, I'm going to a pre-rift literally in a couple hours. Legend I'm most excited for. Specifically Unleashed Legends? I haven't tested all of them yet. I think Vi could be interesting. I think Vex is really boring. I did try her out. LeBlanc is kind of interesting, but playing against purple is complete cancer and not enjoyable. Like I think Vi, Rengar, even Pyke could do some interesting things. I did do one game of testing with Pyke. I think Lilia is also kind of boring, and Ornn might honestly be better than her. Ivern is neat, but I think he's probably not good. And Kha'Zix has some interesting stuff too with the purple. Like there are a lot of ideas that are they're slowly coalescing in my mind, but they're not fully formed yet. So, Annie good and Unleashed, yes. Diana, yeah, Diana's busted. Alan's playing Diana. Spoilers. That guy fucking loves blue purple. Classified tech. Is it a spoiler if he announced it? Did he announce it? Okay, cool. I'm not leaking anything. I mean, I don't think it's surprising that he's playing like either Diana or Ezreal. I don't think that's a surprise. So, I feel like it's fine for me to say that. Yeah. I'm not going to say anything about what he's playing, because that guy, he's cooking some stuff up. Some pretty good shit, but... He already said it? Okay. Because he waited a while before he said he was playing Ezreal. In set 2. But yeah.
In Forge of the Fluffed.
Yep, it was very Ornn thematic here.
Yes.
In my headcanon, I don't know where Forge of the Fluffed is. In my headcanon, it's just like a Poro that wins.
Alright, for now we don't need chat.
Yeah, they're like...
This BO3 was a mess. 70 game actions a game. Ezreal isn't too good. Well, that's false. We got blue Ornn. Oh yeah, and houses are big got best of Ornn. And then also best of Teemo is actually a guy from Toronto. A local.
get the good old fist bump of the runes.
All right, what do we got?
We see Travis is starting with the
Punch first, challenge, first mate. What is that card? Relentless Pursuit and some 4-mana card? Oh, it's a Kaisa. Alter Kaisa.
Beautiful art, by the way. Draws and passes.
Oh, interesting. I didn't see. Maybe
What is the plan as the Lucian? You're against an Ornn, which is a control deck. He's going to do nothing the first 2 turns and then play Ornn on turn 3. So we probably want to save this Kaisa to accelerate out. Or we could play Kaisa, and then we could do Lucian plus first mate. That would also work. And that saves a rune. But we want to... I mean, we're not conquering on turn 2 at all. We want to double conquer on turn 3, and then turn 4 move off when they play their Ornn. Score to 8. It's kind of hard, though.
Against the Ornn matchup, the moment I see Ornn, I'm immediately trying to find that 2 energy unit to just score as quickly as possible, but maybe...
Alright, not gonna be able to see Ornn's hands. Oh, and also, sorry to everyone that was watching, I would just, like, lean over the table and my hair would cover up everything. I didn't realize that was happening, and I mean... Yeah. That's my tick. When I'm trying to focus. It's like Sam had his rocking, and I guess I was rocking while... Well, no, I would just lean over. Elbows on the table while touching my hair. Pulled out the granola bar at some point. This Kaiser should have been a Lucian. No, this is fine. This saves a rune. As long as he does Lucian first mate, or he needs to do something that scores 2 points. And I don't think playing the Relentless Pursuit is very good. Thought I was going to pull my hair out. I do like pull on the hair. Okay, he's accelerating Kaisa. This is also reasonable because he gets an extra draw out of it. And the rune isn't too important. Like, really the draws are quite important because he's trying to find the Trinity Force Skyfall combo. Because that's going to be, or whatever other counterplay he has to Ornn. Which I'm not sure if he has any, to be honest. Especially game 1. So this is very reasonable. Maximize the draws that he gets. Burning the rune is whatever, because next turn he's just going to go back to base and develop anyway. So he gets the 4. The Ornn's going to be at 1. And then he'll start conquering with Lucian, and he'll just have to develop a big enough board. I mean, one thing he could do as well is, like, walk... He could double conquer with the Kaisas, draw even more cards. Oh, he's Ferris 4 now, that's cool. He could double conquer with the Kaisas, and then if the Ornn ganks across, if that's the only unit, then he could use Relentless Pursuit to opposite battlefield, and that's very strong. Like, you definitely want to save the Relentless Pursuit. Okay, so this Ornn should Weapon Master and equip. And probably with this 1 last mana, that should be used for the Spellsonger equip. And you probably want to just equip the GA to be safe. I guess the one issue with that is Lucian does play Akshan in the main deck sometimes. So if you equip the GA, then you do lose a little bit of value when it gets stolen. Though they probably don't steal the GA, they probably steal a Spellsonger. That's a more important card. Okay, he does this. How big is this Ornn then? 5, 6, plus another 6. He's a 12. So this is a bit risky. You could get... I mean, it would be insanely expensive, but if this Ornn dies, it doesn't matter. Like, 2 punch firsts plus a challenge. You could get Akshan challenged. I mean, I guess you could get Akshan challenged anyway, so that's... You can't really play around that. Let's see, if the Akshan strips... This... Well, no, it would have to strip the GA. So then the Spellsonger would be equipped. The Spellsonger would only be giving +4, so it'd be at 8. So it'd have to be Akshan Punch first challenge if you equip the GA, whereas like this, Akshan strips... And I guess you're still at 8. Yeah, it plays out the same. But there's really no reason other than playing around just the single Akshan stealing the GA, which then costs you 1 rune on the later turn. Okay, so this should just be a walk back to base and develop. Set up your double Kaisa Conquer. He'd go to 0 runes? Yeah, he would. But if there's no second Ornn in hand, then it's over. I mean, double punch burst challenge is a pretty crazy combination. He has 2/3 of it in his hand. And actually this is 12, so he could actually... Wait, does he have, with that... With the Skyfall, he's on Forge of the Fluffed and Orange Forge, so that costs 2. He equips it to the Kaisa, goes up to 6. Goes up to 11 only. No, and there's no +3 equipment. Yeah, so there's no other way to get enough out of it. It would have to be a 4-card combination with 2 pieces of equipment. But this could easily be... the Ornn's going to get too big. Like, Ferris Forerunner's not going to be that useful in this game. I mean, you could still play it. Like, the issue is, ideally, if there wasn't this combination of Spellsonger plus World Atlas, what you could do, you pull back the Kaisas, play Ferris Forerunner, next turn you double conquer with the Kaisas, stack the Ferris Forerunner, and that could be big enough to block the Ornn. In this case, it will never be big enough, though, with what the Ornn has. Wait, does he have the double punch first? Wait, what is he doing? Oh, he has a Piercing Light. This is only 9. Wait. Does he have 2 challenges? What? Alright, GG. The game's over. He has the Azir. Alright, game is very over. Alright, next game. Like, you can ask your opponent how big the Ornn is. Maybe he thought the Ornn was 8 might, because it was 8 dice on him, but the dice were representing how much additional might the Ornn had. So, that's entirely on the Lucian. Triple... Wait, he has all of them. Oh my god. Wait, this is great. You play Lucian, then you play Triforce, then you play Triforce Skyfall, and then the game is over. Like, Ornn can't even stop that. Don't know why we're doing it in this order, but sure. We're just... I mean, this is more mana efficient, but we're sacrificing points. Alright, Triforce. Oh, you can just double Triforce. Oh, this just scores 4 points. He didn't... Wait. He has 8 runes, right? Oh, no, the Skyfall costs 1 to equip. Yeah, you only get this. You're only scoring 3 points. No, so this doesn't work. Yeah, his line just doesn't work because he's going to end up scoring up to 7. This gives the Ornn an entire extra turn to figure something out. I don't know what the Ornn could have to figure something out, but... Because if the Ornn finds an Azir, or a second Ornn, he can block this Lucian out, potentially. Yeah, he only goes to 6. Not sure why the Akshan went on the battlefield. There's the Azir. I think Ornn's big enough to wall Lucian. Yep. Yeah, so Lucian should have won this game. I think. Let's see. So he plays Lucian instead. He goes to 1, plays Triforce. Next turn he plays... Next turn he has 8 runes. And with 8 runes he can play second Triforce, Skyfall, equip all 3. Score 3 points, go up to 4. Go back, and then on the next turn he can go... Yeah, Lucian should have already ended the game on this turn. Oh, he has the Accelerate Kaisa? Okay, sure. Top X out of it anyway. Is that a Noxus Hopeful? That's a weird card for Lucian. Alright, get rid of all of it. It's trash. Find the combo. Kaisa Accelerate. I like it. It's a very unit-heavy Lucian deck. Okay, this time the Ornn has a GA on it. Or is that a fucking Doran shield? Hold on. That's a fucking Doran shield. So this Ornn's a 9, so it can actually get punch first challenge this time. Does he have anything else? No. Much testing have I done? A little bit. Not a crazy amount. Aggro Yi is going to be strong. I mean, Yi's never been weak, other than when Miracle was a thing, where Miracle would just outnumbers him, and numbers is what he does. Triple Trinity Force. I think Trinity Force is really good for Yi, because it forces your opponent to fight into your +2 repeatedly. If you don't have that, then your opponent will just sit on the other battlefield and keep developing. And if the points... Like, Yi is bad if the game slows down and drags out, because if the board clogs up with units, then he loses his benefit. Oh, he held with Lucian instead of in and outing it? Yeah, he did. Alpha Strike Ruin Runner? Yeah, that's a pretty good combo. Did he top deck that Kaisa? Could he have just accelerated the second one out? The Ornn held up every single rune, which means there's no Azir and no second Ornn in hand, or there shouldn't be. I guess, well, if he doesn't have a non-Windwall counter to challenge, then you wait on the Azir for a turn. But you do really need to get him developed. Oh, he probably has like Steric's Gauge. He showed Steric's Gauge in the previous game. You could just first mate out, play a second Kaisa. Oh, he's just gonna fucking send it. Alright. 13 against 9. Steric's Gauge is +4. He could have Cloth Armor easily. No, he's got nothing. He's got just a bunch of counter spells in hand. I need a Relentless Pursuit also to go for it. Yeah, I mean, there's no hidden Zonyas. There's nothing. Seems like this Ornn deck just isn't playing Zonyas. So, second Ornn, but the Lucian is now at 8 and could try to hold both battlefields with some trash units. He has so many units in hand. Yeah, like you could leave a Gem Jammer or a Forerunner on this battlefield, pull the Kaisa back, leave the Poro there. What can Ornn even do? Has to have Shirelias or Charm to deal with that. Yeah. He's even holding up the Relentless Pursuit too. Okay, Tiana's gonna block the hold. Oh, was this? I think I saw a meme about this. Just a Doran shield and a Tiana holding out against the world. Probably would have been better if he developed the Forerunner. What is this Ornn? 13. So with Forerunner, he'd have 13 to trade into the Ornn, who is not holding a Zanya still. And then he could follow that up with First Mate and Relentless Pursuit to send 6 at the Tiana. The Relentless Pursuit gets countered. Awesome ruling incoming. What was the ruling for? Oh, is this where you can't conquer with Kaisa? After Tiana prevents the score? Because it still counts as being held? Oh, we can also just... Oh no, Challenge gonna get defied. But yeah, holding up the Relentless Pursuit instead of developing an entire Forerunner is not great. If he had more might in play, I think he'd just win this turn. I wish they'd show the judges. I wonder who... Oh, is that Grenton? Is he walking over? No, it's not Grenton. Alright. What? Alright. Alright, I just hit a hotkey that went to the end. Alright. The Lucian draws for holding. No, you have to score the point. Let's see. One Blood Rose. Hmm. Oh wait, you're doing Nile. You're doing. Why are you doing all the XP stuff? I don't think you need to do anything with XP if you're not playing the XP Legend. Like Wuju Apprentices may be fine. Probably not, honestly. Maybe if you're doing Alpha Strike plus the Orangey plus Blood Rose, you could get Wuju Apprentices online as well. But I think you just focus on good units that don't need XP. Yeah, but how long does it take to get to 6? Every single green deck is going to be playing 3 Defies. Tier list content? I mean, once I know what the tiers are, sure. Takes a long time, yeah, but then why... Soda tier list. I don't drink soda. So now he sets up, but the Orange just held and made gold. And they find a Shirelia's. Oof. Yeah, he just does not get the draw. He gets his one Kaisa draw. Second Defy. Stack even more stuff, but this Orange is just growing. Relentless Pursuit, not targeted. Kaisa just gets in and wins. Oh wait, she still doesn't win. Tiana's still there, obviously. This Ornn is 25 might. His hand has a lot in it. What do we got? 10, 15, 24 with all the equipment, and then we can first mate, if we have the runes for it, first mate our Kaisa. So not enough to kill the Tiana. I mean, there's a Convergent mutation, now we're just dead. Take any supplements. Yeah, take some multivitamins and fish oil. Okay, so Orange just wins. And it all comes back to the not developing enough. He held 6 runes up and didn't develop his Forerunner. and then was too small. Renata Sivir. Oh boy, Aurora. Gonna be seeing a lot of this. You need 3 Defies for all the signature spells in set 3. Like, you hit Diana, you hit Yi, you hit Rengar, you hit Kha'Zix, you hit Starcrossed, you hit Heedless Resurrection, you hit everything else that Defy hits in previous sets. Like, most purple decks are going to replace Rebuke with Starcrossed, because Starcrossed is the answer to Elder Dragon. One of the few of them. Alright. Is this Renata playing Blue Ornn? Or maybe just Infinity Time Warps? Yeah, lots of signature spells. Let's actually see. All of the set 3 signatures. Did I get all of them? Oh, you hit Death from Below, Pike Sig, and you hit Curtain Call, Jin Sig. You hit like half of the signature spells in the set with Defy. Okay, why did he not pay the 1 for Treasure Hoard Gold? He's specifically holding 1 rune open for something. I don't know what. Jin isn't playable due to Defy. Alright, we just misplayed. We just missed out on a gold, and we're a Blue Ornn deck. That's a bit trolling. I'm not gonna pull up the misplay counter for these, but, you know. And Catalyst. Oh boy. Sabotage on curve, and that took the main deck salvage, right? Yep, take the main deck salvage into the turn 3 Aurora. Why are we not equipping the World Atlas? Star-Crossed Elder Dragon before the damage? Yeah. They have to have a Blade Flurry in response, or before they even find the Elder Dragon to stop it. Jin can do disgusting things, in theory. Well, the Ornn is gone, all this gold doesn't matter anymore. Well, I mean, it does, if we can draw anything else useful to do with it. Just find some Time Warps to chain. Oh wait, does Renata just... Oh no, Renata turns all of this into draw. She has to tap, yeah. So every gold that he missed, that gold he missed is an entire card that he missed. And that World Atlas equip is another gold that he missed. He could have 2 more gold at this point. Alright, we try and hold both battlefields. That is a 9-point hold, so that's bigger than the Mind Splitter, and then the other battlefield is a unit. So the Sivir Accelerate challenge would be pretty good. If this is a Hidden Blade, we're dropping Shen. So we could just have 2 more gold at this point. Drop a Dead Bloom. So this hidden card is not a Hidden Blade, most likely. Challenge off the Renata. Hey, Yuki. Thanks for the Prime sub. Another Mind Splitter. Oh wait, what is the points? He has 5 points? Oh god, never mind. So he should have 2 more cards in hand. Or maybe have been able to hold something up. Yeah, he should just have 2 more gold. Sivir doesn't have ganking. Needs Signature Spell or Rebuke to push through this. He has ganking. He's got Boots of Swiftness. How big is this Ornn? 6, 12, 13? So he's clearing the card sharps out first, and then he's going to equip Gank Across and Punch first. Oh, he's just going to accelerate Sivir out. So this is 16. And this could be 15, so this hidden card still needs to do something. It's a Hidden Blade. And Ornn is just going to win. Why are we not stacking all of the units together? Is there a rebuke? Wages of Pain. That could have been hidden. That probably should have been hidden. To play around a Sabotage or another Mind Splitter. Trade everything. If only the Honest Broker was holding. Or would it just end up getting dead bloomed? There must only be dead blooms left at this point. Or he's out of units. Mulligan dead bloom? Nope, no units. Oh, alright. No units, which means no units to equip a shovel to get back units. Two to 5-1 Windwall. What are you running Windwall for? Oh, he had Dead Bloom in hand. So we're not going to lose this. No. Okay. This should be a pretty good matchup, actually, for Renata. All things considered. So you get to build up infinite gold for your Ornns, and then your Ornns are bigger than their units. Why is this treasure hoard not getting popped? Is that a sign that there is a Pack of Wonders to bounce it in hand? Sure is. And he mobilizes. So that's 8 runes next turn, which is not enough. Why are we equipping the World Atlas, man? I guess that costs us a real rune. We're not spending the gold to equip. Alright. Pack Trove, maybe drop the Sivir out. Getting Sivir set up would be pretty good. Okay, Sabotaging. We could do this next turn, but if we play Sivir, then we wouldn't be able to. Oh, no, we would. We're going up to 11 runes. So Sivir could have been gotten out. Most boring deck in TCG history. No, there are definitely more boring decks. Okay, getting Boots of Swiftness developed. If we're going to have 12 runes, this is fine. Otherwise, you probably should have replayed the Trove and kept Pack Trove in. Is this Ornn big enough to hold against a Deadbloom Predator Punch first? He's only 9. But you have to try to hold with your World Atlas. So he's only on 10 runes. Yeah, I would have preferred to get the Trove getting played, because these Boots of Swiftness are useless this turn. And the Trove would be an extra card draw and an extra rune. And then you could play the Boots on a later turn. So that's a full draw and rune missed. Because you're just missing out on the Trove value. Alright, what was in the Renata's hand? Oh, that was his only card, was Electron Yordle. But at least he got his Ornn out before the Mind Splitter hit him, which is pretty good. Do need to do that. Does Renata say when you're at 5 points, or does Renata say while you're within 3? Have to be within 3. This isn't Aspirin's Climb, so it's fine. Oh, this is double Vile Muzzler. That's interesting. I'm surprised that Renata doesn't get played in base. I guess this plays around Hard Bargain? Sure. Second Aurora. He has to make the decision on this Dead Bloom before he sees what the second Aurora gives him. He could flip the game. This is incorrect. Unless those are in base. If those are in base, okay, that's fine. If those are in base. Was unclear when he put it in the center of the board if that was like a I'm thinking about where I'm playing it, and I get to resolve my second Aurora first before I make that decision. If that hidden card is a wages, he definitely should have developed his Renata in advance. So he had 5 runes, but if it's a hidden blade, it makes sense maybe to play around hard bargain. But he needs this Renata in play and to give him some cards. And also, he should not be spending gold here. He should just spend his runes to draw the cards. Just flip a blue rune over. He does not need all these runes, but he does need the gold to make sure his Ornn is as big as possible. Accelerate Sivir other battlefield. Challenge off the Renata. No, challenge into the Ornn. Interesting. Could have equipped Boots of Swiftness before doing that to deal more damage. Alright, how big is the Ornn? We have 9, and then Ornn is 6, 14. So 23 total, we did 6. So this is 17, we just sent 16. This isn't even enough to clear. And the Yordle's tanking for the Ornn, so this Deadbloom Predator can't even kill it. Spicy set 3 decks? Not yet. Challenge Punch first. 13. That's a full trade. Yeah, he really needed to throw away more runes to draw. Yeah, this game's over. Let's see, top decks another Ornn. Oh god, these Renata battlefields are not good for the Aurora matchup. Gets gusted. Gets ramped all over. Gets his salvage taken, most likely. So that's a good hand of counterplay. Problem is, he has no draw for it. Ooh, he goes for the equip this time. Okay. He gets accelerated into by Sivir. He had enough runes for that? He has 7 runes. So he goes down to 6. He just took himself off Aurora. So that's completely fine for the Renata player. I mean, he loses out on the gold, which slows him down, but if he can just find a Stupefy, he can beat this Sivir. Pass? Wait, what? What is in his hand? Okay, I hope he knows that the Sivir can get ganking. So he really needs to put a unit into play. And that could easily be Renata. Like, he could easily... it's risky still. Against Deadbloom Predator. Like, maybe what he needed to do is go here, stack the Renata, cull the weak, getting rid of the Sivir, hide Hidden Blade. If your opponent Deadbloom Predators, they keep taking themselves off of Aurora, and if they don't, then you get to start holding. And maybe even equip the World Atlas, just chuck your runes. Okay, they had to challenge and then gank across. Now we get to cull the weak on an empty board. We are just going to sit and spectate the Aurora player do whatever they want, though. We have no interest in doing anything. I mean, you're just not going to win like this. We got some analysis of the pastry channel. Let's hear this.
Looking like we're in a good spot. So this is game one. You might notice a few things. One, Tempest is at 7 points over there. That looks all right. And you know, we've got a couple units here in the base. That's looking all right too. But do we notice anything wrong? Well, there's a graveyard full of units over here, and there's this Aurora on the screen here. But you might notice the Chosen Champion zone is empty. That's because the Aurora player is out of units. So even if there weren't these 2 units for Emo Tempest to actually move in for the Conquer, the removal's just been too good, and this is what I thought the story of the game was going to be. Call of the Week, Imperial Decree after board, Singularity, Wages of Pain actually managed to kill a Deadloom here in combination with a few other spells. I just thought it was completely Jova. There's this huge stack of gold, Ornn's looking massive, and again, even without these units to conquer, this game looking like it was over, and I thought Thunder just had no way to recur units. Didn't have a unit to use for last rites, had to get aggressive with the units using Sivir early to break the points that Renata was able to get early, but things did change. So I'll have a look at game 2 now. I'm going to see how it went, because at some point...
Okay, these are just recaps. But yeah, here, if he spent runes instead of gold, his Ornn would have survived. Or, well, his Ornn wouldn't survive, but one of his units would have. Whoa, Alan ZQ. What's he doing here? They saved me all the way until day 2. They didn't even talk to me. Get this guy out round 2.
I think the community knows pretty well. It is Alan ZQ. Alan, how are you?
Hey, pretty good. We're just playing some the first pre. Started playing off against some Dravens. Brought again Ezreal, and hopefully gonna do better than Lille. Hoping for that 3 out of 4.
More photogenic.
4 for 4
Damn.
on best of Ezreals. First one went pretty well.
It's the hair gap.
Second one went not quite as well, but pretty well. What happened in Lille?
I mean, the third one, I played a bit too much of a tempo list and too little of the control. I was just running out of the cards. I was on the top decking scenario too often, and the games that were even though I was ahead due to the tempo, my top decks were just rough. Where I needed a single spell, I was just top decking units, which were costing me a whole series.
So I feel like a lot of people stepped away from the deck, especially after the bans. How did you feel the deck changed? Maybe after some things got taken away, some things changed for Chaos.
So basically, we had to cut down on the cultures because of the ban, obviously. So the deck, you needed to put in that slot just value cards that you would be digging for with the culture in the first place. So the deck got a bit worse, less consistent, harder to play into Irelia because you cannot find the answers that reliably. However, the deck is still good. You just have to make it a bit greedier, where you don't get to draw so fast and the exactly stuff you need.
So it feels like a very tough deck to play. I will say, I feel like you're the only person that consistently does well with this deck. What is it about Ezreal that you
Hey,
like so much?
Sasuke.
Not many people are playing the deck, certainly to this level.
The good part about the deck is that it doesn't matter what you draw, you can make it work most of the time. None of the games feels
Trying to
really
cram as much of this VOD in as possible before I go to a
pretty
pre-rift,
much any big tournament I've played,
which probably will be day 1. I do want to see Dana Fisher's match, because I coached her a bit on Annie. Had one session with her. Did some prep, which was pretty cool, and she played on stream day 1.
The deck drew poorly, and outside of that, every game was winnable.
So are we switching decks for Atlanta?
No, for Atlanta, no switching, no switching. We stick to Ezreal.
We're locked. How are you
Streams
feeling
of the
about coming into this
pre-rift?
tournament? 'Cause
Don't
we
think
had
so.
little metagame shifted a bit. How are we feeling about this tournament?
Oh, pretty good. Had a pretty spicy barbecue yesterday, but that only helped her.
All right, and then last thing, Unleashed is on the way. What are you looking at for Unleashed? Shall we stick with Ezreal? You may be seeing some other cards or legends that strike your fancy?
So pretty much I'll be sticking to the color theme because of the blue-purple and the nature of how it draws the cards and what it can do pretty much everything. I want to play the deck that doesn't rely on drawing well to do well. Hence, I'll be doing either Diana or Ezreal. I haven't played tested single game. So once I'm back from Atlanta, sitting for the straight 10 days into the testing chamber and going straight to the Sydney.
Well, I know you test a lot. You're always asking for screens for your teammates, but good luck at the tournament. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, if you're doing like the Star Spring recital thing, that does make Stellacorn a bit better. Alright, what do we got? Round 3. Rumble Teemo. Damn, they got a lot of variety in the early rounds. Triforce Believer, Triforce 3 of mandatory even set 2. That's the only way you win. I don't like the order that he mulliganed his card. Put his cards down, drew 2, and then mulliganed. Approach the matchup, I haven't played against a single one. So I don't know. I don't know. Like, Defy is an issue, where you can't rely on Flash. You need to play around Punch first, but otherwise the deck is able to send out attacks that can break their holds. And then I may have got Rebuke, so if they don't draw Ruin Runner, I can deal with all of their units. This is a tragedy of a curve for both players. Though maybe this Teemo deck might just be built to play Teemo turn 1 every time. You just don't play 2-drops. I don't like that. I think you should at least play some, like Ravenloom students. But I understand it. It's a choice. What did you just hide? Edge of Night? Why? That literally does nothing. Red Rumble in Draven. It's okay. Hold up, what the fuck? What? Alright, I already hate this. Send it! No, that's bad against Switcheroo. But it's fine, like, let's just not play into their open mana. What if we just don't play into their open mana and say they've done literally nothing? Congrats on the Edge of Night. This Ferris Forerunner should be in base, though. There's no reason for this to be holding the battlefield. There's nothing Teemo is going to do to you on that battlefield. You do want your Forerunner in position to start swinging at some point. So we're both just going to sit here and hold. That's fine. This Teemo is doing nothing. Let's just set some shit up. No, why are we Falling Starring? Why did we just Falling Star a completely irrelevant unit? Alright. Like, where are our runes now? Just play double Production Surge Noxus Hopeful. And then you could even move both your units back to base and just send everything. You probably don't want to send everything. Does Production Surge play to base? It plays to base. Okay. So if you wanted to hold the other battlefield, you'd have to do it with probably Ferris Forerunner or Noxus Hopeful. Watch her accelerate. Equip. So this is 10, and this is 3, 8. Yeah, we also just left ourselves wide open for a Watcher. Though, if he had his signature spell, he'd get to trade here. But honestly, this is still fine. Teemo has to burn a ton of runes hiding. So this is a 10. We can send 3 mechs in here. Beat the Watcher. We could send Noxus Hopeful into Teemo and just, if they switch through, we'd play 2 Cleaves. We could even, we'd play Cleave Stupefy. Such an easy clear. You do have to go for the Thousand-Tailed Watcher. Actually, no, you don't go for this thing first, because there could be a Tide Turner. So you probably do the Noxus Hopeful attack first. The Switcheroo gets flipped, you play Cleave Stupefy. And then you send 12 against 10, with a second Cleave backing you up. Yeah, this is good sequencing. It's a Wages, which now we play Cleave. and keep a mech, and Teemo has literally nothing. Don't know why we're stacking this bubble a lot, but whatever. Finds a Nocturne. 6 points. Let's walk back to base. Oh, we have Singular. Okay, yeah, just pack it up. Alright, go first. Ferris Forerunner on curve. Still pretty good, even if you do some random stuff. And just play our Rumble and Chill. Teemo draws 2. The odds are quite high that there's a Consult the Past hidden in those 2 cards. But if he couldn't answer... I mean, could there be hidden units? If the Teemo's playing Teemo turn 1 every time, you maybe think... And they're playing Ezreal, you maybe think that they don't have Tide Turner. But they could have more Teemos in their deck, something like that. That would be annoying if you drop the Falling Star too early. It's fine. Not in a rush. But it was Edge of Night, Consult the Past. Judge catching the double channel. Nice. Let's actually go back and watch that again. Ready. Channel 2. Readies all his other stuff. Writes down his points. Picks up his hand. Goes to channel again. Okay, he noticed it himself. Alright. There are some people, it annoys me a lot, where they draw their card for turn before they channel. And every single, like, I need to just start telling them immediately to not fucking do that. Because it's way too easy if someone does that, where they could draw their card for turn, then channel, then just draw another card. Way too easy to cheat like that. Oh, we could rip Singularity here. We have 7 runes, so we've got Singularity and then Cleave. Which goes in for 8, which the Nocturne will also be an 8. That's not amazing. But if we wipe the Teemo here, they can't really come back. Smoke screen. Oh, we've got Stupefy. No, that doesn't do anything. I mean, our hand is all spells. We have to fight the Teemo now. Sprite Call. And another Unknown. Okay, so now we can send 5 against 3. If there's Switcheroo, we have Cleave. If there's a hidden Teemo, we have Cleave. If it's a blue Teemo, they have to hit 5 hidden cards. They hit 4. And then that's 5. Okay, this Cleave is completely wasted. We're just trading anyway.
Of us get through our games are there to help you, and their judgment is divine.
It's true. Thankfully, you don't just sacrifice a bunch of recycle.
It is good that they're not cutting away from judge calls. I think that was pretty unnecessary. Set up the Minefield Reconquer. Sivir. Divine Judgment shown. I guess he has no mech. Why did he do this? Wait, what? Okay, the entire point of pulling back the... Okay, he's playing around Wages of Pain. 2 Wages of Pains got flipped off that blue team. I don't think you should play around that. Like, he should still go to Minefield. I don't think there's a Wages of Pain in the Teemo's hand. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he has the 3rd Wages of Pain. Let's double check that he flipped 2 off of this blue Teemo. Yeah, 2 Wages of Pain flipped. Yeah, I think he should still go for the same thing, hit the Minefield, try to find something to pick up with his Rumble. Oh, he just has a Ferris Forerunner in hand. Okay, sure. And he gets the 4 points anyway. He just wants the wall. Bandle Tree. So if the Forerunner gets rebuked, Rumble by itself would get pushed by Sivir with the equip. So he adds the... But this doesn't play around wages plus rebuke anyway. Like, if we're thinking about wages, then it doesn't matter. I guess splitting your units is not great. You'd rather just lock the Bandle Tree down. That's fine. If you can answer a Mundo. We equip the... Alright. I don't know why we're equipping the Edge of Night to him. That's massive overkill. Sivir would very much like to have that. Like, what? Like, he just played a Forerunner. He'd need a, like, Thousand-Tailed Watcher Smokescreen? Would be the only way to push the Mundo. And we hit a card, too? He's getting a lot of Forecaster triggers. Alright, well, we gotta set up to push the Mundo. I think there's a Gem Jammer in his hand. He could have left one unit trying to hold. Finds a Nocturne, ganks a Sivir, hides all of the cards. Yeah, that's a problem. I mean, this is the thing, too. If this Edge of Night wasn't equipped, then if the Rumble leaves only one unit behind, Sivir can always gank across into it, whereas if the Forerunner got left behind with the plan to Gem Jammer it to get it into the combat, then Sivir wouldn't be able to do this. Quite relevant. And he hits his 3. Oh, but it has Assault. Nope. This should kill the Sivir. Sivir's at 1. Okay, he killed the Sivir. But we do need to push this Mundo, unless we're just ignoring him the entire time and praying that the opponent can't move it around. Hits all 4. Four again. Trades. Yeah, we're just not touching the Mundo. Well, that's not good. Also gave the Nocturne a free gank across? Oh, no. And we're just gonna let this Mundo grow forever before trying to fight him? Okay. Power Nexus. What? Why did we play the Rumble first? Why does this Teemo love hiding Edge of Night and then playing Switcheroo from hand? No. Okay, this game is very over. Switcheroo from hand is just conceding the game. Oh, that is a big misplay to play the Rumble before. Oh no, he gave him +1. Okay, no, there was a reason for it. That played around blue Teemo into 5 hiddens. There's a lot of judge calls happening. Second breakneck mech. Alright. Boy, time to watch Draven shit on Leona. Hey, thanks, tilting weeb. It was a pretty good win. GA. That is a lot of gear in hand. Sigil of the Storm. Interesting. He did go second, which means the Sigil is going to do a lot. Is there something about the camera angle where it's easier to see the player on the left hand? Or has it just been the player on the left always shows their hand more? Fiora. Equipped to play around Falling Star. Okay, then. A little of both. I mean, it looks like you can see the same amount from both sides of the table, but... Oh boy, there's the Ferris Foreigner. Slightly angled, yeah. We got Lonely Poro. Zonya's Hourglass, Mask of Foresight. Well, we got a lot of protection effects. This Fiora's gonna just sit there and sit there. She is a 7 defending. Zenith Blade is our first stun draw. We are going to charm the Forerunner in. That's a good play. That thing would be a huge problem if it ever got a spinning axe on it. And we're out of cards. Beast below. Put it in your hand. Okay, well, the game's over now. Can't even Zenith Blade in because there's a fan on both battlefields. 6 points. Could still leave the fan on each battlefield because this is a problem to deal with. Probably a rebuke in the Draven's hand. Oh no, wait, did he use a purple rune to hide? That's a misplay. Definitely should not have used the purple rune to hide. He mistapped his runes. So that does give away rebuke as not being in his hand. But also... Tide Turner. Kick it out again. Yeah, okay. Second Zenith Blade. Alright. Can we deal with a Beast below stacked with a big pile of shit? Fortunately, runes are gone, which means that there's no Draven coming down, who is the ultimate holder at the end of the game. We got Leona. How big is this Fiora? 6. So neither of them can go in by themselves into the Beast below, but this is 12 against 12, and we save all our units if there's no spinning axe. There's a spinning axe. Alright. Unlucky. The Draven did get to turn all of his overzealous fans into card draw. Rek'Sai. I really don't think I like this GA equip on the Fiora immediately. Rockfall Path. Why did we go there? Why don't we force our opponent to go to the Rockfall Path so they can't reinforce it with overzealous fans? Holy shit, this is the draw that Coco had again. No, Coco had an even better draw. He had Stack Deck Hopeful into Rek'Sai Hopeful. But that is absolutely disgusting, 12 Might on turn 2. He's a Beast below in hand, and that's why he's playing so slowly. So I'm surprised he didn't just walk on the battlefield and stack 10. And say, like, what is a 6 Might Fiora gonna do about that? Just sacrificing points. Thwonk repeat. Why did he not repeat the Thwonk? What? We're just gonna play around hard bargain and concede the game if he has nothing and just passes? Discipline, 2 Zenith Blades, and an Aurelia. Stun, move in. Why did we bring in the Stella Corn Herder? We're trading it, we get a draw out of it, we clear everything the opponent has. That's not bad. And we get Switch Root. And we're cooked. Yeah, I mean, this is just kind of done. That's what you get for showing Draven on stream on day 1. I mean, if you're gonna show a Leona, show them not playing against the Draven. That would be good. There, we got a Yi Kaisa, because that was a 2-0. That was the first 2-0. As soon as they put Draven on stream. Oh boy, Grover the God Willow, Master Yi. Hold up 4 runes. Play the Kaisa. Alright, now what? The Kaisa does have board development advantage. The Yi has card advantage and rune advantage. Drop Ruin Runner, still sit in the way of the Kaisa. Okay. I like this. You got the Ruin Runner prepped to counterattack. Best case scenario for the Kaisa is either a Cleave or a Stupefy, get over the Poro, and then stack a Ferris Forerunner. And that's a bit of a problem. But if the Kaisa doesn't have that, then this looks decent. That is 2 Thermo Beams. And that might also be a Singularity, and a Falling Star, and a Rocket Barrage. This guy has so much gear removal. We are going to Falling Star that Poro. Okay. Well, this game's kind of over. This is just going to be a Ruin Runner holding for all eternity. And an Aurelia. Yeah, Kaisa doesn't have any answer to this. And a Trinity Force. Well, good thing we got gear removal for that. I mean, Yi plays 6 gear total, probably. Some mix of Zhonya's and GAs, and then 3 Trinity Force. Alright. So, overdoing it on the sideboarding. Alright. Hey, Dana Fisher, playing against Aurelia. That's a good matchup. Am I going to keep a best of Annie? I'm thinking about it, actually. I have a buyer for one of them, but the other one I might want to hold on to, honestly. Especially if I keep playing Annie. Alright. Let's actually focus on this one. Let's pull up the misplay counter. Set 3 ledges I'm looking forward to play? Not yet. Alright, what do we got? Desert's Call in Aurelia. Okay. What a Dana Mulligan. I can't tell. What's the card? What's the card? Is that a Rengar? Kind of like Rengar. See Flash, I think Ferris Forerunner. I think it was a Noxus Hopeful drone. Okay, he goes for GA instead of Desert's Call. no, am I not going to be able to see Dana's hand the entire time? Alright, Rek'Sai turn 1, that's nice. We are doing the Desert's Call repeat. I'm gonna call this a misplay, actually. Already, because against any other deck, this isn't a misplay, this is fine. But against Annie, they're always going to have 2 runes open, and if they hard bargain this, this is very bad for you. I don't think you can ever play for this kind of turn 2 Desert Skull thing against Annie. And it's greedy, it's risky, maybe it's not. I'll leave it as a full misplay. It's borderline. Because there is Seat of Power in play, and if he can play for Seat of Power, that'd be pretty good. But I think that's completely... that's completely impossible. That's just not real. Overzealous Fan, Noxus Hopeful, Hold Up Flash. We're very well set up for the Ferris Forerunner next turn. Nice. And if all of this was in hand, the Rengar Keep would have been reasonable. Because he does fit with the curve. And the hand had no tricks otherwise. But this flash is nice. I guess what do you actually do? Let's say the opponent attacks with both Sand Soldiers into you. There's no point killing the fan. They commit a Discipline, and then you could flash just the Rek'Sai out and let the fan trade with the undisciplined Sand Soldier. That's not bad. They attack with one Sand Soldier and play Defiant Dance. You flash out both. They get the Seat of Power Conquer. But then you clear both Sand Soldiers, get your own Seat of Power, and it's fine, and they burn a Defiant Dance. And then they play Aurelia, and they probably equip the GA to her. So they're down 2 runes. It's not bad. Because you have to put the Noxus Hopeful in base in order to threaten the Seat of Power battlefield. If it was an Overzealous Fan in base, then you'd never be able to. But they really could easily just send both Sand Soldiers to Seat of Power, play Aurelia base, and then pass. And that's kind of annoying. Equip the GA. Send one Sand Soldier forward. Okay. Gonna count this as half a misplay? Yeah, I'm gonna count this as half a misplay. He should always send to the Seat of Power first, figure out if Gust gets played or not. Look at latest Yi list for set 3. Yeah, I could do that. I mean, someone linked a Yi list earlier in here. Was that just yours? With Blood Rose in it? And Meditations? So with a misplay counter that's so mean, that's what you have to do. Identify misplays and correct them and learn from them. Alright. Can this... Why is Piltover Archive asking me about cookies every single time I open the page, man? Like, if you're gonna keep cookies, then don't ask me about them every time. That's part of the point. Alright, what do you got? 3 punch first is a lot. I think back off is significantly better than Thwonk. Should just be 2 Thwonk. You've got 3 Defies, that's good. Nami's kind of interesting. If you ever trigger the hold effect, that is really good. Rengar's really good. You probably want 3 Ruin Runner. And you might need White Flame Protector to deal with Baron Nashor. Is Nidalee that good? Maybe, that's not bad. Kiana, though? Sheesh. There has to be a better source of card draw than this stuff. What the fuck is this? Like, maybe I could see cut 1 punch first, play 1 Grim Resolve. Nidalee is S tier. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad card. I don't think you want Stellacorn plus Kiana, that's really slow. Also, where's your 4-drop Yi? Wait, get rid of these clowns. Put a 4-drop Yi in here. Then find some other way to draw cards. Unless you are doing Star Spring Embers. Okay, Stellacorn Herder can stay. Get this Kiana out of my face. If you want to forward her up with Deflect, play the... What's his name? Kinku? No, he's not a Kinku. What is he? Navori Scout. Yeah, he's Navori. Yeah, play that. Alright, so this Sand Soldier by itself, what does that mean? This is most likely an on-guard and playing around... Yeah, this is an on-guard Telegraph. If he sent both Sand Soldiers, then he could be playing for Defiant Dance to try to beat a Cleave. But it wouldn't beat Rengar, so that's really risky. And then it is pretty nice to just have the Sand Soldier in base. Like, you are going to play for On Guard if this thing conquers. Then you're kind of set up where you can push Sunken Temple with Aurelia and then try to push the Seat of Power, so it is good to keep the second unit. I think Aurelia in general performs a lot better when she has 2 units in play than just 1. Can't see Dana's hand. Hopefully she's found something that can push through an On Guard. I mean, even this trade is fine, honestly. Like, you attack in, they play On Guard, you just say, okay, I got an On Guard out of them. And then you play your Ferris Foreigner on the Sunken Temple. That's fine. But ideally something better than that. Like, a Cleave would be absurd. He has nothing. Why didn't he send both Sand Soldiers, then? I don't know what his hand is, but I'm just going to count that as half a misplay. I don't think that makes any sense. He has an On-Guard in hand. Okay, it's a full misplay. You can't give this Conquer away for free like this. Especially when it's a Ferris Forerunner turn. You have to try to tax. And then we have Flash, so we drop the Ferris Forerunner with the Noxus Hopeful. Makes sense. Protects our unit that just conquered. If I could see Dana's hand and see that she had no tricks, I'd call that a good play, but if she has any tricks that would beat On Guard, then it's just a normal play to make. Yeah, it would be nice if they set up a hand camera. I wonder if they could do that in the future with production, where they set up like a camera that's a little bit further back that can see over the shoulder. I need to be up a bit too. It's definitely doable. They've got plenty of space in the feature match area. Yeah, Magic events do it manually, which that's an investment to make for it. I mean, that is the best way to do it, because then you just have the hand tracking the entire time, but that's also a lot of labor. Card holders. Card holders. You put your cards on like an old person. Like, I think a camera, if there was a camera, if they could just have an over-the-shoulder camera, and then put it, they'd have to move some stuff around. But, like, maybe make this a little bit smaller, and then, you'd have to fit it on both sides. But fit somewhere, like you have an over-the-shoulder camera that's pointing at their hand, and you just have that in a small box somewhere, but big enough that you can tell what's going on. Something like that would be cool. Also, how's it going, Achman? I remember you. Bologna, round 8, Lux. Equip and ready. Alright, are we going to put the Sand Soldier onto the Sunken Temple first to set up for the Seat of Power? And what are we at? 4. So we were at 6 to start, and this was a +4, so we're at 10. So we still need... It's crazy. Ferris Forerunner with a 4, just bricking Aurelia the entire time. Taxing so much. Yeah, I'll be in Utrecht. I guess one issue, of course, if you move the Sand Soldier up, you get Ride the Winded on. You're really sad. Thanks, man. I did it. I fucking did it. Yeah, I can't see what's going on in either of their hands. Rengar draw was... It really was. That was the very last draw. Stack deck. That's very reasonable. That's the rune deck. Alright. Alright, can we get any look at these cards? Damn. Kinda looks like an overzealous fan. Maybe a stack deck as the third card that gets picked. I have no idea. So he's saving the Sand Soldier to conquer after the Aurelia trades. I mean, great. Just traded a GA with a Noxus Hopeful. Oh, now he plays the On Guard. That's very surprising. I mean, that's a misplay. Like, Dana, that's just a misplay from the opponent. They should have played the On Guard already. I don't think there's any difference between 2 and 3 runes that he needed to worry about. Like, it would have to be a 2-mana card plus a 1-mana card. And what 1-mana card would it be? Gust? So, like, there is nothing. Or is there a 3-mana card to play around? Doesn't really make any sense why he waited. Like, Hard Bargain, Rebuke, Flash, none of those are real. 3-mana card is like Rengar, Voidseeker, which also don't matter. So, I mean, he should have just played the On Guard immediately. Yeah, Dana could have taken that trade, but if your opponent has the pump spell, they should have just played it already. So as Dana, you should expect they don't have the pump spell, so there's no reason not to stack deck. Like, stack deck just shouldn't change what the opponent is doing with their play. No, it's not a mistake. Like, it's a misplay by the Aurelia to even offer the trade in the first place. Like, free tonight after pre-rip. Depends on when it finishes. Hidden card. If that's a Zonya's, then he probably should have saved the On Guard. You get to use stack deck after when the Guard conquers. They might not conquer with the Guard. You might just not get the chance to stack deck. No, then it doesn't make any sense for them to even accelerate the Aurelia just to trade with you. Alright, sure. I would have played the stack deck there, because it makes no sense for the opponent to make that play, but sure. It is slightly better to wait, because they will give you another showdown. Hey, thanks for the Prime, Sasuke. I'm Canadian. Where do I play? Yeah, in Toronto. Toronto best region for Riftbound. Okay, so this Aurelia is a 7 if she gets Ride the Winded. Didn't the Aurelia hold? Why would the Soldier go in? The Aurelia did not hold. She would have been 10 against 10 if the On Guard didn't get played. And they would have traded. So, I mean, the one thing to think about here, which is absurd, but this could be an Edge of Night and then a Ride the Wind. But there's like your own Ride the Wind in hand to answer that, if that happens. Yeah, you want the Forerunner. So the way this is looking, depending, I don't know what Dana's hand is. I see a Ride the Wind, that's kind of it. Maybe can see some more cards. No. Okay. But you want to get the Sunken Temple Conquer and just take the draw. And most likely we're just not pushing this Aurelia. We're just going to stack on Sunken Temple. We can do Ferris Forerunner plus Overzealous Fan plus Noxus Hopeful. Play Annie, pick up Flash, and maybe do some other board development, depending on what we have available. But it would be good, because the Noxus Hopeful... I mean, it depends also what's in our hand. I don't know what's in the hand. If we have, like, Rebuke, and we can just punish Ride the Wind, then we don't need to send anything else. And then maybe we are setting up to attack into the Aurelia. But getting the Sunken Temple draw is quite good. Oh, we're just sending it. Oh, we're Rengaring. Okay. Okay. So this Aurelia is only a 7. We're sending 9. If we don't have a hard bargain in hand, I don't really like this. I think the Noxus Hopeful should go too. Because if the Aurelia plays a pump spell, I mean, if we have a cleave, I mean, we need 2 tricks in hand, because the Aurelia could have, like, double Defiant Dance, On Guard. That's a bit scary. This hidden card could be something weird. It's probably just Azanya's. Very, very likely, like 90%, 95% it's Azanya's. But what's probably, like, the end board state after this is we're going to win this combat against Aurelia. And then we're going to have a unit left over here. We're going to have Ferris Forerunner by itself. And we're going to have to figure out what is the best... Like, let's say this is Azanya's. That's the most expected. Aurelia's going to be 8 in base. We'll have 1 unit here, probably the Rengar left, or the Rengar will die. We'll have Rek'Sai here. We'll have Forerunner here. And then we need to figure out where the other 2 units go. And most likely the best place to put the units is the Fan with the Rek'Sai. And the Hopeful with the Forerunner. And then probably we're going to play Annie and pick up Flash. Is a decent option. Which means if the Hopeful is going with the Forerunner, then this makes sense. I was thinking another possibility is you stack the Hopeful with Rek'Sai and put the Fan there, but that 7 is just not a good enough number. So thinking about that, as long as we have... Like, this is still a little bit risky against double 1-mana pump spell, if we don't have Rebuke in hand, or we don't have something else, like we have Ride the Wind, but that's not good enough. Like, ideally it would be like Cleave plus Hard Bargain, something like that. But seeing, like, where we want our ideal battlefield setup, then it makes sense to not send the Hopeful, if our hand is good enough to be safe. Because it was also possible we could send Rek'Sai Hopeful, this is just 8 against 7, and save the Rengar. That's also quite possible. And then we could do something like that, still put the Overzealous Fan over here, and then stack Annie with the Forerunner. If they force us to play Rengar. And if they don't, then we have a lot of extra development room. Yeah. He kills the Rek'Sai. That's... okay, that's fine. If he's confident he can kill whatever's left over, then this is fine. Tide Turner with the Forerunner. Don't like this. I mean, again, need to know what's in her hand. Like, if Rebuke is in hand, then we're saving Annie to pick the Rebuke back up. That makes perfect sense to not play the Annie this turn. I think I would have preferred... Maybe this is fine. I don't know. I need to know what's in the hand to be able to say. Because this Forerunner does set up to reconquer Sunken Temple, and it does set up to be a bigger unit on for next turn. Like, it is just better overall to save it as the 6 might body, because we're going to get to 6 points and then hold with it again on the next turn, and then get it to die. Favorite legend for Unleashed? Not at the moment. And just don't get to see anybody's cards in hands. Fizz. Fizz is going to play... Did he pick the On Guard up? Where... He taps the On Guard. That needs to get recycled. Okay, Judge points it out, gets recycled. Sure, readies. Now we do this gank across. Setting up for Seat of Power. So here we have the Overzealous Fan trigger first. Definitely want to do that. That's just great value, especially they already used their Aurelia ready. Then we can consider also using Ride the Wind. We have 4 runes up, so the Ride the Wind could be quite good. I don't like this Rebuke. This is very premature. And I don't like recycling the purple. That is 2 misplays there. No. Yeah, especially they already used their Aurelia. The correct play is just use the fan, kick them out, see if they do anything, and then you can think about Ride the Wind in. And with Rebuke in hand, you could just send the Ride the Wind in, get to 6 points. Like you Ride the Wind in Ferris Forerunner, so you're safe against the Defiant Dance by itself. And then you literally just win the game this turn. This Rebuke is... Okay, we just have the hard bargain for the not so fast anyway. I think this is still wrong. I think this Rebuke still needs to get saved, and the recycling the purple rune is 100% wrong. But the game is still basically over. I mean, one thing here, if we didn't recycle that purple rune, instead of this Noxus Hopeful, we'd be able to play Annie, pick up the Rebuke. Wait, how many runes do we have? Oh, we drew with the Sunken Temple. Yeah, so instead of drawing with Sunken Temple, we'd be able to play Overzealous Fan, Annie, pick up Rebuke, and have Rebuke up. But this is still completely done. Yeah. No, it's still completely over. Like, as long as you find the 1 Rebuke game 1, when you only have 2 of them, then you're completely fine. Okay, here we've got... Okay, you can actually see the hand. I can't tell what the card next to the Forerunner is. So post-sideboard, when you've got 3 Rebukes and a Switcheroo, you do have to be careful keeping Rebuke in the opening hand. Like, I think that's probably one of the cards that gets mulliganed here. And then I'm not sure what the card next to the Forerunner is. But that might be the mulligan. And the Aurelia has 2 Defiant Dances, a Not So Fast, and... I can't tell what the last card is. Maybe a Discipline? It's just all buff spells. A Fan and a Tide Turner. There's... Oh, is that a Tide Turner? Oh, that's a Tide Turner. That's not a Rebuke. Okay. So we've got Overzealous Fan into Kaisa into Forerunner Curve, so we mulligan the Tide Turner. Why do you mull Rebuke versus Aurelia? After sideboard when you have all 4. You have 3 Rebukes and a Switcheroo, and you need to find early plays. Oh, hey, Alex. So, as Aurelia, you have to keep Not So Fast against Danny, so you have to mulligan one of these Defiant Dances. The best card in the matchup? Yes, but you need to not get run over in the early game if you just can't play units. And I mean, Ferris Forerunner is the best card in the matchup still, honestly. Did they, what did Dana mulligan? Ferris is the best card in every matchup? Yeah. Until set 3. She full keep? Hold up 4 runes. Alright, this is where you leave it alone. Just go to Zonwarins and put a Kaisa in base. Nice. If she kept a double 2-drop hand, that's definitely wrong. One of those cards should have been mulliganed. Stellacorn Herder, continue to hold. Well, you have to try, I guess. And I mean, even if you don't do anything, you get the procs, you get a card out of it. Half a card. Where'd these runes come from? I have no idea. I don't do anything with alt art. Alright. So, we can't let them continue to hold here forever. We do have to fight this Tide Turner. Hopefully our hand has something useful in it. I can see a flash. Is that a Mind Splitter? Does look like a Mind Splitter, which it is for the Zonwarns game. Can't see anything else. There's a Ferris Forerunner in the hand from earlier. Rip the Mind Splitter. I think that needs to go on the battlefield. Because... I guess the Stellacorn Herd is going to do whatever it wants anyway. No, we have Flash. Yeah, we have Flash in hand. This Mind Splitter should go on the battlefield. This is definitely wrong. Because the Aurelia could, like, play Aurelia, drop a Defiant Dance, and ready her, and that's +6. But then we can Flash out. And then even if they have the Defy there, they burned all the runes, and then we should be able to kill the Aurelia. He Defiant Danced in response. Why? He has a second one, and he has all 3 Defiant Dances, and he mulliganed one, and then he plays one in response. That's completely pointless. Free Defiant Dance. Alright, what do we take here? Vex is annoying, but they also have their Aurelia undeveloped. If we take this Defiant Dance, then Stellacorn Herder can't push our Rek'Sai, which is quite important. I mean, we can put Kaisa up with the Rek'Sai, and then if they Defiant Dance, they're still just trading. But then they also have the Defiant Dance plus Aurelia thing going on, which is annoying. Whereas if the Mind Splitter was on... Well, if the Mind Splitter's on battlefield, then it's still the Defiant Dance Aurelia thing. Flash supports the Stellacorn Herder, which is annoying. Like, the Aurelia's next turn is going to be play one of their 5-drops, move the Stellacorn Herder onto Conservatory, and then hold up Flash. If we let them have Flash. If we don't let them have Flash, then when their Stellacorn Herder moves, it's at risk. So we do deny them a lot of card draw. If we don't take the Defiant Dance, though, then they could try and push. They don't have a Defy, though, so our Flash is always safe. So we could put Kaisa up with the Rek'Sai. We could take their Flash, and then we could say their Stellacorn Herder is going to go to Conservatory. We're going to hit them, and we're going to have some kind of answer for Defiant Dance defensively. And then they've got nothing else. Maybe they put Vex also on the Conservatory and just stack everything. If they do that, it's 10 might. And then we probably have to flash our other units out, and then we send 15 against their 10, and Defiant Dance doesn't save them. So that's pretty good. So I kind of like taking the flasher. Oh, we can see the hand, we can see the hand. Hold on. Tide Turner, Flash, Forerunner, Ban. Oh, she did keep the double 2-drop. That's a misplay. Definitely don't keep the double 2-drop there. Should just mulligan the Tide Turner. It's not an important card. Second Dance makes the game a lot easier. Yeah, but the Stellacorn Herd is going to draw way too many cards then. No, I think you take the Flash here, and then stack Kaisa with Rek'Sai. Which again, this sucks because they could Defiant Dance their Stellacorn Herd and offer the trade, and you'll have to take it. Whereas if it was Mind Splitter with Rek'Sai, they'd have to do it on their Irelia, and then things are way better. I think the Flash is a better take here. Take the Defiant Dance. Yeah, and this is just we leave the battlefield open. Oh no, that's really bad. No, you have to block the Stellacorn Herder. You can't give the Aurelia 4 points in a perfect flash setup. Aurelia Mulligan Discipline? Yeah, but you don't know that. As Dana. Like, your information as Dana is that you saw 2 pump spells. They have 7 left. And he Mulligan Discipline Defiant Dance. So he only has 5 left. But, no, like, this is really bad. This is really bad. Like, they just get to do whatever they want now. Oh, this is terrible. With the 3 runes up. I mean, I think Rek'Sai probably needs to go with the... I guess the Vex is only 5. If they played Aurelia... then Rek'Sai needs to be with the Mind Splitter. So that 1 pump spell isn't enough, but with Vex, the Mind Splitter by himself is fine. But this is just so many cards. Sends an 8. Yeah, and even this play wouldn't be possible. No, the Rek'Sai should still probably be with the Mind Splitter to prevent this from happening. No! Oh, it's all falling apart. Like, the Rek'Sai should just be here, and you need to take this trade. You need to trade Mind Splitter with Vex, and let them conquer. You can't use Flash this early. You're giving way too much ground to the Aurelia to score points. Yeah, way too much ground. You have to put something in the way so that they have to spend resources on their turn, and then they're tapped out and vulnerable on your turn. Why are we pre-cleaving? Because of Vex? This is 11? So Ride the Wind is a concern. We got a lot of draws off of the Kaisa. And if we're going to cleave like this, we have to send another unit to go with the Kaisa, otherwise there's no point in this pre-cleave. Yeah, this just doesn't play around anything. 17 against 10? Or against 11? Get rebuked. Hard bargain, repeat. Okay, we managed to clear, but we're dead to the Aurelia Accelerate. And this mech needs to go forward. Actually does it. 4. What does the Aurelia got? Play Aurelia. 7 runes. Play Aurelia, equip ready. Go up to 8. So if there's a mech there and a Tide Turner, this goes up to even 10, potentially. And there's no reason for it to be in base. Vex equip ready. Yeah, and that's even worse. Was Switcheroo? Oh no. Catastrophe. Do we not have a rebuke in our trash? Is there not a rebuke in trash? Was there... Oh wait, no, yeah, there was no rebuke. No, yeah, there is no rebuke, huh? Maybe we could go for rebuke, or pick up switcheroo and go for that. Hmm. I think you have to go for the switcheroo. Rather than trying for... Like, what, there's 30-ish cards in deck? So, stack deck sees 10%, and there's 3 rebukes in there? Target other... No, you can't. If you hide a card at a battlefield, any targets that the card chooses have to be at the battlefield. And there's 3 rebukes. Just, let's say 27 cards. 3, 30% chance. Not great. I know, this game would have been easily a win. If that flash didn't get played, and you just trade the Mind Splitter with the Vex, and then Aurelia never gets to 6 points, and you get to 6 points on your own turn. Mulligan a rebuke? No, her hand was 2 2-drops, a Kaisa, and a Forerunner, and she full cupped. Alright. Try and get this game done, and then I gotta go. Thermo Beam. Okay. He full keeps. Flash Stellacorn Herder? Something else? Did they both miss the Arena's greatest trigger? Grenton is here. Going to pre-rift? Yeah. What was the correct take? Yeah, it would have been better to take Flash, so the Stellacorn Herder doesn't farm a ton of cards. Because Defiant Dance was an issue. If the guy didn't misplay and play second Defiant Dance, or play one of his Defiant Dances, then you probably have to take a Defiant Dance, because the 2 of them is a big issue. Depending on what's in Dana's hand, which it was just garbage 2-drops, so you can't push through that. But Flash was better with what the misplay the opponent made. And then holding on both battlefields for 10 each would have been better. And then, if you're going to hold that mech back in base and not attack with it, it should at least go to the other battlefield to help play around Ride the Wind, and that's where it should have ended up at the end of the turn anyway. Otherwise, you should just send everything towards it. The pre-cleave makes sense because it was hard bargain in hand, so you had to pre-cleave. So that was fine. And then it should have been Annie picking up Switcheroo as the one out.
Match that to do it in the seat right now. He's gonna
At his hand.
Looks like it's just a fully missed. Trigger. And no units. He equips the boots. This doesn't even play around Falling Star. Alright, that's a misplay. I couldn't see... Wait, Dana's at 2? Okay, I don't know what happened with these points. Okay, so it's only the opponent that missed his trigger somehow? Mulliganed 1. So it was Ferris Forerunner stack deck and fan keep. Yeah, and then just didn't work out. I guess that's another misplay for the Aurelia. But there's no reason to equip boots. That doesn't play around anything. You still die to Falling Star. I'm not sure what else... So there was no Ferris Forerunner keep from Dana, or else she would have played it here. most likely. Because this play is very vulnerable to Defy. Which means, like, there was no Kaisa in hand. It must have been a Rebuke that got kept. You can't respond to the trigger anymore with Flash. Okay, they don't even have the Defy, so no punish. That's good. GA equip, and this point lead is just enormous. Charm gets played. Mind Splitter. Okay. So that Aurelia will be big enough to kill the Mind Splitter. So you probably want to take the Charm. Flash is basically irrelevant here. I'm surprised the guy even kept it when he didn't have Stellacorn Herder. What's in Dana's hand? I see a Ferris Forerunner. And a Switcheroo. Switcheroo keep is better than Rebuke keep. Because of the fact that you can hide it. Think you take the Charm here? Take Rebuke. Hide a card. Directly into the Not So Fast. And burn all the runes. And Flash. I don't know why the Rebuke got... I think the Rebuke was the worst choice out of all of them. Maybe Flash would be a worse choice. But your board is just getting wiped now and you burned all your runes. He Not So Fast the fan activation. And then the Charm is in hard bargain range. That's crazy. And we accelerate into GA and lose everything. That's all. Oh boy. Game 1 went well. These games have been complete catastrophes. Oof. Yeah. Everything went wrong. Alright. Unfortunate game to end on. What is this? Jax. 5-0. That's pretty cool. Alright. I gotta go to pre-rift. Thanks for all the follows, all the subs. I'll try and have time to stream next week to finish the rest of this, talk about the event. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Time to go pre-rifts, which I have not prepped for at all. I'm gonna just be on my phone the entire time looking at cards, because I gotta check all the cards I need to play around. Hair pulling's part of the strategy. It just, like, when I'm focused and stressed, and it's just the thing that I do. Alright. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. Ta-ta.